All right, let's continue on our investigation on probability, right? Okay, so let's open up the PowerPoint. So now we're going to talk about what's called conditional probability. Conditional probability. Let me adjust a little bit more. Okay, I think that's a little better. Okay, so conditional probability is denoted like this. This is how you write it, but what does it really mean? That means something like this. You want to calculate probability of A, but you have a condition. What's the condition? That's condition part right there. B has to happen first. You want to figure out the probability of A, but knowing that you have a case for probability of B. That's the conditional probability, and this is the formula. How do you calculate this then? You do probability of A and B, these both event, and the given part goes under. You divide that by probability of B, and that's how you compute the conditional probability. Probability of A that you try to figure out, but you have to have a given fact, which is the B part. So let's say what you are trying to figure out. You're trying to figure out is this, right? That part right there. Oops. You try to figure out probability of C. What was C case? The coal mining profitable case. But you want to figure out not just coal mining profitable case, you have a condition. What's the condition? The markedly oil must be profitable too, right? Given that markedly oil profitable, given that's the case, you want the probability of coal mining profitable. So you have this given probability, and that's the formula. Remember, this was a C and M. What goes under? The given part goes under. Now we previously calculated this probability, right? Probability C and M, and also we know what the probability of M, which is 7%, right? We're referring back to the previous two lectures. We have all this calculation. You put it in the calculator, and that's what you get, right? That's what you get, and that's how you figure out the conditional probability. So multiplication law is the one that we try to calculate this probability of A and B. How do you figure out probability of A and B? Well, that's equal to probability of B times probability of A given B. Well, where do they get this formula? They get this formula from this, basically, right? You rearrange a little bit, then you get this formula. But you can, of course, take a note on this as a separate case. But these are basically same formula. So let's say you want to figure out this probability. Probability of markedly oil profitable, and remember this is and coal mining profitable. How do you calculate that? Right? Then you know you are after this, right? Probability of M and C. This was probability of M times probability of, you know what, this has to be, this was a mistake, this has to be fixed. This is C and this is M, right? This was a mistake. C and M, which is the one that we already calculated before, right? We calculate this one in our previous case right there, right? C and M. So how do you calculate this? This is probability of M times probability of C given M. Now, this result, 36, that we knew before from the previous lecture, right? We are verifying it though. We are verifying that this also are correct. We can calculate that using this formula, right? So let's consider this joint probability table. Now, you are assigned to do homework very similar to this, and it's also very possible that we have an exam question, a final exam question, something similar to this. So it's a good idea to take a note and um, try your best to understand this. Now, they made a table profitable for M, which is 70, profitable, not profitable for M, 30%, profitable for C, not profitable for C. And you have all these other case. So this is the case M profitable, C profitable. This is a case that M profitable, but C is not profitable. So they made all this table. So, I mean, once you know how to figure out all these possible calculation, then you can figure out this table, right? For example, this one. This one is profitable M, profitable C, right? It was been verified here, and we also talked about how to get this from the previous lectures, right? Okay, now let's talk about the concept of independent. Independent event meaning what? Independent event meaning they don't interfere with each other. Let's say these two events are independent, meaning they don't interfere. Doesn't really matter the other event to the current event or the event that you have. For example, if these two events are independent, see this is a probability of A given B, right? But notice that given B part didn't really do anything. Probability of A is just exactly, given B is the exact same as just probability of A. Why this is the case? This is only possible when these two events are independent, when they don't interfere, right? Same thing for this. Probability of B given A, but A given part, it's got nothing to do with B, so it doesn't really matter. So it's the same thing right there. So if these two events are independent event, probability of A and B is simply multiplication of probability of A times probability of B. If this is not independent, then what do we have to use? Well, remember, we have to use this. This is page 4. We have to use this general multiplication rule. But this is page 8. If these two events are independent, then you can just simply multiply these two. So what do you think? This investment case, is this independent case or dependent case? Well, we can verify the probability of probability of M and C. Is it equal to just simple multiplication? Of course not, right? If you just simply multiply, that would be 34, but you know that probability of M and C was 36, right? So these two are not equal. You know that these two events are not independent event. All right. Okay, so we talked about several different topics in probability, and as usual, I'm going to assign several different homeworks. You should definitely try it. If you have any question, you can email me. We can communicate through email, or you can do a Google Hangout sessions. It was pretty helpful. I tried with several other students in this course and in some other course, so we can do that. Um, and our exam is coming up, so you should definitely um, try to understand all this. And um, I'm going to send out the extra credit possibility for you guys as well through email, right? All right, so that's it for the probability chapters. Okay.